Alright, hello ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. This is D Albino with Noobs R Us, and today I'll be playing a little bit of an old Game Boy Advance game. You might know it, you might not. But, yeah, a little bit of a well-known series, Kingdom Hearts. I'll be playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts has been in the news lately because of its sudden appearance at E3, which everyone that's ever been a Kingdom Hearts fan knows that it's been 7 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and we've been waiting for the third. Anyway, in this game, I'll be uh, just doing a little quick run through of um, just the main storyline. Probably end up editing out a bunch of grinding for Moogle points, and I'll explain all that later. Anyway, I decided to do this game because rather than wait for Ultima to do Kingdom Hearts 1.5 in the future, which is what we're waiting for so he can record playing Kingdom Hearts 1 on, I decided to just start this one to see how it goes. Or, well, to get it started anyway, to give something on the channel a chance to take off. Anyway, as you saw, that was a drawing of the castle that Sora is now standing in front of. That has some significance later, as I'm sure you can assume by the fact that she happened to draw exactly what he was looking at. Yeah, Donald, Goofy, as this is a Disney game, or some bit of a Disney. I don't know if I'm going to be reading through all of this, or I probably won't be. I'll just let you guys read what you want, skip past all the other stuff. Stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, they're in a castle, um, trying to, or thinking that they all think that, Riku and King Mickey are here, which you might want to play the first game to understand exactly what happened to them. Mickey is the king of Disney Castle, Kingdom, whatever. Or whatnot, and well, that all becomes, or shows it's more important in the game. The first game, this game, all they're trying to do basically is find them. That's why they're going through this whole castle, is to find Mickey and Riku. Anyway, and then throughout this game you'll see a number of these hooded men and women that will be important to the story later, but I won't go into that now. I'm not going to spoil anything ahead of time for you guys who may have not played this game before and who are just curious as to what happens in it. But as some of you may or may not know, I'll go over it anyway. Donald is the magic caster of the group, as by his little staff with the wand or whatever there, or staff with the hat. Goofy is the physical attacker, and Sora can do both. Donald does mainly like thunder, fire, blizzard, and cure spells. Goofy just hits people over the head with his shield. Sora hits people with the Keyblade. Really, that's all you really need to know for this game going into it, minus the Kingdom Hearts 1 story, which will help a little bit understand why they're looking for King Mickey and Riku and some of what they mention. But anyway, so mainly what this video is going to be is I'll explain what I'm doing as I'm going through it. I would have done it with the audio, but with my microphone ahead of time while I was playing, but my microphone died. I forgot to charge it. So now I'm having to do this as a commentary. This isn't live, so I do apologize for that. Anyway, but normally at about this time, I'd be headed off to finish off my last week of summer college classes. But I just so happened to, sadly enough, which pisses me off truly because I actually want to finish these classes and not have to do homework, but I happen to get a sinus infection and I'm now kind of bedridden, which sucks, but gives me more time to record and throw some stuff out to you guys, see what you think. Anyway, what he did there is well, it'll sort of explain what happened. Basically, he took Sora's memories, put them into a card from the first game, his memories from the first game anyway, put them into a card, which is Traverse Town, which, as you know, was the first world after Destiny Islands in the first game. And basically he uses these cards to move forward in the game. I'm gonna probably end up being quiet a lot when people are doing talking to give you guys time to read and concentrate on what they're saying, because some of what they say can be very confusing. So if I do go silent for that, I do apologize. But I am going to try and let you guys read as much of this as possible. If I do end up going fast and skipping through some of the stuff, I apologize if I press the A button a couple times too many. I can't remember how this works. I might have to... Oh yeah. You'll notice Donald and Goofy are missing as well. Jiminy Cricket's still there, which I believe is just because he was with Sora when they went through the door. Like, literally with Sora in his pocket. One thing I'm not sure why it happens, but you might notice that in the game, I'm going or moving rather fast at times. Not sure why, but for some reason when I record, sometimes the gameplay just gets sped up like it's on hyperdrive or something, and I'm not messing with the speed or anything. It's just like when I run around like that. See what I mean? Stuff like that happens. Anyway, basically what's happened is your friends have been turned into cards, and they'll help you fight, but you won't walk around with them like you did in the first game, or at least not openly in the world. You might see them in a few cutscenes, but you will not walk around with them following you, getting in your way, which is kind of a good thing. But here they're just explaining how combat works, like movement controls. This game's combat system is very innovative, and I actually really enjoy it. The card system down there in the bottom left corner. All of your cards, or all of your attacks have been turned into cards. Your magic, your items, your swings of your Keyblade, even your friends' attacks, like as you saw when I used the Donald card, have all been turned into cards as well. To recharge, basically what you do is you just hold the A button, and that little meter will fill up. But every time you do that, the meter increases by 1 to a maximum of 3. And obviously that takes longer and longer to charge, but there are some items or cards that help you uh, keep that count down to a low. There's one card, if I remember right, instantly recharges. Here you can flip through cards to choose the right ones you want. It's really not a complicated system. Though I wish when you press the right or the L button it would move one card to the left, not move the card you're on to the left. Like it would, if I were to press L right now, it would move to 2 instead of to that 5 card you see next. Oh yeah, what else it just showed before that was pressing select to switch to your other deck, which includes Heartless cards, which you will get later in the game. I'm going to go quiet and let you guys read what's going on here. Pause if you need to. I'm sorry if I skip through it fast. I read pretty quickly, and I do apologize for that. There are some light moments of comedy here, like that, what Donald just said, making fun of how weak Sora is. But it's one of those things where doesn't really... I mean, it's kind of a deep story, what with Kingdom Hearts games. They're kinda... I mean, they're aimed at a younger audience, but there's some... Like, you have to... An older thought process, like thinking about it, you have to understand a lot of stuff, and it's a pretty deep storyline to think about. Younger kids might not understand it. They just might see it as fun as playing a game with some of their favorite Disney characters against these dark, evil monster things. But it's actually a really deep storyline, and I love the story of these games. Well, what I'm trying to do there is, you know, hit the light post because you can get items or cards or whatever from it. The way the doors work here, you use special cards you get from combat to open the doors, and there are 3 different types of cards. 4 different types, actually. My apologies. There are those blue cards, which you see there, which is a save point, but each of the blue cards holds like treasure chest room, Moogle shop, which you can buy cards from for your deck, or the save rooms. Red cards, which control the amount of Heartless, the size of the room, and the power of the Heartless in that room. Green cards, which control your power, if you'll get items faster, or friendship cards will drop sooner. And there are these gold cards, which only open special doors that help you progress through the storyline, or there is a special gold card that opens the secret doors, which hold special items or special attack cards or summon cards, which are more powerful than others and can be used for more powerful attacks. That that basically can help make this game a lot easier. But the special key cards, like the gold cards, are key cards. They open important doors in the game. The main one that I try to focus on getting is the key to secrets, which opens up those secret doors, as I said before. But it's very hard to get those. They are very rare to drop from only the Heartless battles that you find in various rooms throughout the game. Very rare, very hard to get, but very worth the trouble. Um, as you saw there, that gold card had a key on it, and that's called the Key to Beginnings card. The second card is a Key to Guidance card, which has the heart symbol from, as you saw at the beginning of the game, that Chain of Memories was in. And then the third card is the Key to Truth, which has the Heartless symbol in it. What I'm doing there is, like, you hit the light post, you get, you know, those red balls or dots or whatever that come out. Objects, orbs, whatever that come out are Moogle points, and you collect those and you can buy cards from Moogles. There's some objects you can hit that break that give you cards like potions or magic or attacks. Basically what it explained there was that it explained that if you hit the Heartless before you go into combat, it'll stun them so you can get in basically a free attack on them. Um, but as I say there, that little diamond orb thing. Anyway, um, here I go into my first room, and basically I am going to be fighting a lot of Heartless, and I might just leave this sped up combat in because I don't really want you guys to have to sit here and suffer through me fighting all of the Heartless and everything. That would be so annoying, and I do apologize if any of that happens. And if you don't want to see it, please let me know, and I'll just cut it out. Basically, when you level up, there are 3 things you can get. An health boost, a CP boost, which is card points. Basically, each card unlocks, or each card costs a certain amount of points to put in your deck. Like the attack cards and everything, and the magic cards and the item cards. Each one of those costs a certain amount of points to put in your deck. The amount of card points basically allows more cards, or more powerful cards, to be put in your deck, because more powerful cards cost more points. It's a very simple system. It's a very easy system. For some reason, there were quite a few Heartless in this room. I don't know why. But there were a lot in this room. Oh, and the other thing you can unlock when you level up was that bottom one, which were slates, which I'll show you later what those are. Is you can stock cards up at the top of your screen, top left under your health bar or whatever. And, or maybe I already showed you that I could do that. Anyway, you can combine the numbers that they give, or the numbers that they have on them to create more powerful attacks. Well, if those numbers fall into certain parameters and are certain cards, if they fall into certain parameters, they can unlock certain attacks, and you use those in combat, which can be very useful, seeing as you might need a little bit of, like, the slates, as they're called, are more powerful than your standard attacks, of course. Sitting there running around for EXP and getting smacked a lot. This is not my shining achievement in battle right here. Holy crap. Anyway, while I'm sitting there getting smacked. But, yeah. The Teeming Darkness card, like I used there, basically what you're going to see me do here is fight a lot. This Teeming Darkness has tons of Heartless in the room. It's also a very large room, so there's a lot of those objects to jump on or smack or whatever to get Moogle points and cards and health points, which are the little green orbs that pop out. I forgot to mention that. Um, Here I'll explain about the different points or different types of cards in the deck. The red cards here are attack cards. They'll always have a picture of the Keyblade, well, a Keyblade on them. Blue cards are magic cards, which are your spells. Blizzard, fire, same stuff as always. Green cards are item cards. Potions get back the red cards. Ethers get back the blue cards, and elixirs get back both, and I think reset your charge gauge, which is that little 1, 2, 3 or whatever. These cards, which I don't have any of yet, are at the very end here, are Heartless cards, which can be won from certain battles. They're kind of hard to drop. And bosses drop them too. Every single boss has their own Heartless card that they drop. Well, I guess just enemy card. They're not Heartless. Not all of them are Heartless, as you'll see later. This is the map. Very simple. It just shows you which pathways go where. Nothing too fancy about it. Yeah, here I just looking at what type of map cards I have, what they do, explaining basically everything I already told you about them. I guess now would be a good time to bring up, what would you guys like to see on our channel? We're going to be getting, or I'm going to be getting anyway, a PlayStation 4 along with a few games during the holiday season and whenever the games that I want to get come out. Like during the holiday season, I plan on getting my PS4 and Need for Speed Rivals. Maybe Battlefield 4 as well. Maybe, probably not, but possibly Call of Duty Ghosts. I wouldn't bet on that one though. Um, Probably gonna get uh, The Crew when it comes out, which if you watched E3, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also, definitely going to be getting Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15. Those are going to be games that both me and Ultima are probably going to get and put up our own separate Let's Plays of. Probably have you guys vote on which you like better, just as a friendly competition type of thing. But, yeah, there's just more leveling up. I do a lot of this grinding, so I'll just talk probably through most of this. I don't move on for a while. Um, Are there any other Game Boy Advance games you'd like to see? DS games, Game Boy Color game, the original Game Boy games even, that you might like to see? Feel free to leave them in a comment or whatever. I'll be reading all of those myself. At least as many as I can. I'll find a place to stop and then go back to them later. But I'll definitely be reading your comments. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about what we're doing. Don't be afraid to criticize what we do. If you think we could do better, please feel free to tell us. It's not going to hurt our feelings or anything. We understand. We're new to this. We want to get all the advice we can get from anyone out there. But, yeah, so basically, we're trying to get this channel off the ground. It's really difficult lately with me being gone to college, as I mentioned, and neither of us really having a good recording software to use. You might have seen a few of our videos thrown up. Short little Call of Duty videos are terrible quality Need for Speed or Dead Space 3 videos, and I apologize for those Need for Speed and Dead Space videos. They're awful. They were directly from either Twitch or an old recording program I had that I basically scrapped because it was awful. Um, but once I will be hopefully getting a new recording software in, I want to say November-ish area, so I can start recording Need for Speed Rivals right off the bat. I probably won't be putting up any Saints Row 4 until I get that recording software, which I will be getting that game in August. So I'll still be doing a blind run through. I won't have played the game before once I start playing that. But me and Ultima are probably going to do the co-op on that, so you can hear both of us and all of our grand stupidity and or bad jokes, comments, whatever about what we're doing on there, whether it be inflating people's heads or dubstepping me into madness because he knows that I'm not a big fan of dubstep, but he still likes to bug me with that gun anyway. Or just using superpowers and punching each other in the face or whatnot. I don't know what's going on. We'll probably do a bunch of random videos of us just screwing around instead of actually doing the story to that game because, well, what's the point doing a story into a game that's just basically supposed to be funny and mess around in? Um, but that's one thing. Oh, one thing I want to mention about the combat system that I really like is, as you'll notice there, I put a Donald card up front when I do that. Do the stocking of cards up at the top there. The green cards always disappear when you use them, and they do not come back for the rest of the battle. So basically, if you stock cards, you always lose your first card. Well, if you put a green card up there and you're going to lose it anyway, you don't have anything to worry about losing any other normal cards in your deck. It's just a little trick that I use to basically save myself from losing cards when I need to make a high number combo and I don't really have any high number or any attack cards I want to get rid of. Here I go back and I think I farm for a bit of Moogle points and stuff. So I think I'll let you guys go, and then I'll come back and record a little bit more audio once I'm done collecting all the Moogle points. I think I end up getting like 2,000 Moogle points or something just from messing around for, a half hour or so doing all this crap. I think. Or is this where I actually decide to actually move on with the story? Oh no, this is where I moved on. So you get to see, like, the key cards will always, well, not always, but 99% of the time include having to put a door card along with the key card. I highly recommend putting the lowest number possible along with the key card. I'm not sure if it does, but I think it affects some of the other door cards or key cards or whatever. Pardon that pop-up in the top right of my screen there. I managed to move my computer and it detected the vibration in the hard drive. Here's just Sora wandering through the alleyway, pondering that it's tough to fight alone and blah blah blah. And see, this is what I mean by his friends will appear sometimes in cutscenes or whatever, but you won't actually run around with them. But you'll see some familiar faces in this cutscene that you might recognize if you've played the Final Fantasy series, some of the installments, I guess, the older ones. Or, because about the time I'm recording this, Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy, or Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 or something like that's coming out. About the time those are, announced, and Lightning Returns will be coming out here pretty soon, hopefully. I really want to get that game because I love Final Fantasy 13. Anyway, this is Final Fantasy. I want to say Final Fantasy 8. That's Leon. You recognize him from the first game. You met him in Traverse Town as well. So this is kind of mimicking some of the stuff that goes on in the first game. Oh, my apologies for that. Anyway, here's where the story can kind of get confusing, so I think I'm just going to let them do the talking or whatever. Be back once they're done. Oh, this is another character from Final Fantasy VIII. This is Yuffie. Recognize her from the first game as well. Um, yep, alright. Just figured I'd point that out. I think they're both from Final Fantasy VIII. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll let them get back to their talking and whatnot. So, hopefully I think that's all that I have to talk about now. Alright, back in a flash. Alright. Well, here's where Leon teaches you some stuff about battle that you may or may not have known. I already knew all this stuff because I played this game before, and I believe I talked to you about most of it already. I never really got into depth about the card breaking system. Basically, the numbers in the bottom right corner of the cards dictate how powerful the attack is. So, like you'll notice on his side when he has that 9 card, if I were to try and attack with my 4, his 9 would break my 4. Thus, I'd be wide open just like that. And then if you hit a card of equal value, whoever puts the last card breaks it. And you can't break a weak card with your card. So, whatnot. Card breaking system's a good way to knock your opponent wide open. Plus, it comes in handy with a couple bosses down the road that you actually have to card break them. I know it seems kind of stupid, but it actually is very useful little technique if you're in the middle of a battle and you don't really want to get hit too much. So you can hopefully go find some of those green orbs or whatever. There he's explaining about the 0 card. Basically, the 0 card can be your most powerful card, or it can be your most useless. 0 card can break any card if it is played after... if the 0 is played after the other card is played. But if a 0 is played first, it can be broken by any other card. Little something to keep in mind. This is where he talks about stocking cards and whatever. Like I explained before, put 3 cards up there, you end up with a very high number combination, which of course could still always be broken by a 0 card. That won't change it. I believe also this is where he gives you, after this, whatever, he gives you your... Oh yeah, he's explaining about the losing the first card thing, like I already told you about. I believe this is where you get your first summon of the game. The summons work a bit differently, of course, they're in the shape of cards. But they're blue cards, like magic cards. So you have to put them in your deck and leave some points open for those if you want to summon like Simba or Tinkerbell or Dumbo, or not Tinkerbell. I don't think Tinkerbell's a summon in this game. Maybe she is. I don't remember. But there are a few summons in this game. Mushu, the dragon, stuff like that. But anyway, you can record those, add those to your deck and use them to attack your opponents. Some of them attack, others help out, heal, drop items, stuff like that. But oh yeah, every time you walk through or come back from one of those doors, those key doors or whatever, the door that you went through disappears for, I'm assuming, reasons of just not walking back through and having to deal with the cutscene again. Oh yeah, you can also reopen doors as different doors when you strike the door frame again and go and um, strike the door frame and reopen them. Here's the second doorway. This is where we talk about, or they talked about, if you've read the stuff from the other one, they're talking about taking me to go see Aerith and have her explain what's going on and why I'm here, and they know me, but they don't know me. Or they know Sora, but don't know Sora, or whatever. Anyway, Aerith is from Final Fantasy VII, actually. How she's in this one, I don't know. And I'm not sure what Final Fantasy game Sid is from. He's the character that's later in this place. You'll see him in a little bit, but he, anyway, is another Final Fantasy character. This Square Enix owns Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, so obviously they're gonna play with their characters a little bit. Traverse Town here is a world that is exclusive to Square Enix. It's not an actual thing you see in a Disney movie or show or anything, like some of the characters. But you can end up seeing them with other stuff, or not anything. You can see the towns or whatever in other games from Square Enix. They're mentioning Hollow Bastion there was the end towards the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, so again, another little story point. You wouldn't really understand that if you hadn't played the first game. So I do recommend you go watch or play that before you watch this. But it's not really necessary. There's some things you won't understand. A lot of it's just minor stuff that's from the first game that's brought over. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm not doing such a good job of not talking when they're talking or conversing or whatever. So, I guess I don't know, I'll have to keep that in mind in the future. As I said, I'm kind of recording over, so I forget some of these things. Um, One other thing. Um, if you guys want uh, some of uh, your ideas to be known, go ahead and leave comments. I'll talk about them in future videos. Maybe some fan art or whatever. Probably not going to be showing face cams or anything. This is going to be a gaming channel, so there's really no need to see my face. Unless maybe we start some raging series, because I tend to get a little angry when I play some Call of Duty or some Battlefield or any of those first-person shooter multiplayer things. Maybe even Need for Speed might record my face doing that too, because that could be interesting to watch probably. Um, but no, if you guys have any ideas for series we should do or anything you want us to do, feel free to drop us a line and let us know. I'll be checking comments regularly. Pardon my lack of English there. Let me just recap. I'll just recap what they're talking about here. Basically, they're talking about how Sora's heart and memories are affecting the illusions of people in Castle Oblivion / Traverse Town. Basically, this Traverse Town is not the real one. It's a fake one created from the memories of Sora's heart. And he can his heart will affect what the characters in that world remember. Like right now, they're remembering things that they shouldn't know, even if they were the real Aerith, Leon, and Yuffie. Um, Here, I think I just went back and collected a bunch of Moogle points and whatnot. There's another Teeming Darkness room ahead. I'll try and, I don't know, get some music maybe and play that when I'm doing that lovely business. Yeah, I think I decided to move forward here. Um, Sorry if you don't like some of the music I play or whatever, but this is just some stuff that probably be pulling off my Pandora. So hopefully there won't be too many ads. There you see me jumping around like an idiot, flailing the Keyblade trying to hit that red orchestra or something. Can't remember what they're called. These are blue Rhapsodies, yellow orchestra. I can't think of what the other ones' names are. Um, but yeah, this is basically just another grind session of me getting some experience points and everything, trying to level up a little bit before I go do too much, fight the final boss, blah blah blah, for this place. But yeah, oh, the third key is always the final boss of the third key card. The key to truth is always the final room, whatever, final boss of the map, I guess, or world, town, floor of Castle Oblivion. Because each little town or world or whatever is a separate floor in Castle Oblivion. There are 13 floors, I believe. Anyway, they go down or whatever. Or go up each floor. Each new world is a new floor. Anyway, there are 3 cards in each world. And then there's the key to beginnings, key to true, or 4 cards, I guess. 4 key cards for each world. Because there's a secret door in each world. Anyway, there's the key to beginnings, key to truth, and whatnot. Anyway, that last one, key to truth, um, always opens up the final boss fight, and then you can move on to a new floor, new world, new whatever. Sometimes I think the second key or first key every once in a while. Not very often. I think there's only 1 or 2 instances of this. But there's a second little mini boss fight in between. Um, but yeah, not actual boss fights. Usually get a little reward or something from them. Something you didn't have before. Sometimes there's even a little boss fight between floors in the little white hallways you saw, like of Castle Oblivion there. But oh, and as you combine like stock friend cards or whatever, they have certain combinations that they use. Like if you stock 3 Goofies, or 2 Goofies, it'll get just a more powerful little run like you see him do there. You stock 3 Goofies, he just spins in a circle around you and smacks away basically any Heartless that get near you. If you stack 2 Donalds, because normally when you use 1 Donald, he uses Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, or Cure. If you stack 2 Donalds, you get Fira, Blizzara, Thundara, or Cura. And if you stack 3 Donalds, you get Firaga, Blizzaga, Thundaga, and Curaga. And of course, with each new world, there's going to be new little friend things or whatever. Basically, I was just showing you that I had farmed a little over 1,000 Moogle points. Got near 2,000, I think. Yeah, 1,700. I spent about a half hour doing that. It was nothing major, just jumping around. Uh, whatever. Force a habit here. I'm collecting even more. Trying to, anyway. Failing to jump on that thing in there. The gameplay is going to be a little sped up. I do apologize for that. I don't know why it records it going so fast. Here I'm just, clearing my deck, adding some new cards. Um, Editing my deck, adding more powerful cards so I don't have to have as many lower number cards. I always prefer to have a full deck when I do this kind of stuff. Um, but as you'll see underneath the card, different CP values are allotted to each even number of the card. Can be really different. Um, but you have to always, leveling up and adding CP is very useful because it can expand the number of cards and the more powerful cards you're allowed to put into your deck. You won't see me messing with the names too much or messing with the decks a whole lot. I like to keep it very simple, very straightforward. Also, when it comes to doors like that give you a certain number of, or a certain color card, or a certain number of a certain color, or whatever in the future, you always want to use the highest card possible on those when they're the main doors of the story, because higher cards aren't always good. The lower numbers are easier to, I don't know, seem to be easier to get. Plus then, the higher you get, if you put a 9 card in, you always have to use a 0 or you can't open another door. So, that can be a bit annoying. Anyway, there's Sid, as I mentioned earlier. He's from, I believe you see him in Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts 1 as well, in Traverse Town. I'd guess because he's here in Traverse Town. I'm not sure exactly what Final Fantasy game he comes from. Pretty sure lower number than, Sid, or Sid Aerith and, like, Yuffie and Leon. But he's still a Final Fantasy character. Um, they're talking about the big ol'... Well, you'll recognize the boss if you've played the first Kingdom Hearts game as well. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot to say anymore. Do apologize, but I'm probably gonna end up falling silent here. Um, oh, you'll also see I forgot one thing. You'll also see a new type of card in this fight. Uh, there's some boss fights, not all of them, but some include that little Mickey ear card right there. That what it does is it basically just stuns the boss, and you can freely smack him as you please. And it gives you a little reprieve time to use cards without him card breaking or blocking your attacks and whatever. Stuff like that. It's a nice little thing to do. Um, but it does become useful in some of the boss fights. Some boss fights you actually have to use those cards to do any form of real damage to said boss. You'll see here I'm just failing to break his cards or whatever. So I just end up healing and then recharging. Sometimes that's just your best bet, is to end up just healing and recharging, running around grabbing. Oh, one thing you cannot do with those Mickey cards is stock them as well. You can't, put them away into the stock up at the top there and use them as part of a combination or anything. Anyway, as you saw there, you had to destroy all of the body parts of the guard armor before you were able to actually start doing damage to him. Well, before you can kill him anyway. You have to destroy all the arms and legs before you can start hitting the main section of the armor. Um, every single one of these, like little boss fight things or whatever. You see that I'm failing miserably with my magic here. Can't really do much with it, but um, there we go. Ending of the fight. There's always a little animation at the end of these little boss fights of it falling over. But no, you'll see that out comes a little card of the monster you just killed. And back to the story, so I'm just going to be quiet now. Back in a flash. I forgot to mention, yeah, kind of sudden to just come back. Sorry if I scared anyone. Um, but I can't really record game audio because the recorder that records my microphone doesn't seem to record my speakers as well on my computer because I'm playing this on an emulator. Um, so I can't really record game audio, and I apologize if you hate silent videos. You'll just have to bear with me until I get that recorder. Really, there's no voices in this game anyway. It's a Game Boy Advance game. Can't really expect too much. I believe I pretty much... Yeah. Basically, I just open this room and show you guys... I'll show you here what a... one of the fourth key card rooms or whatever, what they look like. The door to secrets rooms. Basically, it does look like a little treasure type door entry thing or whatever. You'll see Donald here use Blizzar, I believe. Yep. Just I am gonna end up fighting every single Heartless I run into, really. There's some maps when I won't, probably because I just do not like the Heartless there. They are annoying to fight. I absolutely hate them. They are just terrible. But um back to the audio thing. I don't know if you guys know a screen capture program that can record off of a computer that's free, that can record speaker volume or speaker sound and mic sound at the same time. Otherwise, it's going to be me recording just some background music to throw into the background of this video and or other videos. Maybe if I can find a way to do that. I'm not sure if I can. Otherwise, I'll try and find a way to record speaker volume and mic volume at the same time in the future. But I do want to apologize ahead of time for the lack of game audio, and I believe that's it for Heartless. Yeah. So I'll go over here and I'll show you the door to secrets or whatever. See, it's a little gold bar type thing. Um, this one I believe gives the Lionheart Keyblade attack card. It's a Keyblade from the first game, I believe. It's more powerful than just the Kingdom Key regularly is. Anyway, I think this is gonna be the end of the episode, guys, and hopefully next time I'll remember to charge my mic. But yeah, from me and Ultima here at Noobs R Us, remember guys, just stay new to the game. Talk to you later.